Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to our next campaign, Desert Blade. This time, our quest takes us to Takistan to deal with yet another uprising threat. Before I get into the details, I would like to take a moment to explain what led us here. Previously, we successfully cleared Fallujah from all of C-SAT's presence and neutralized the militia's stronghold. We were called in after an American fire team was taken out during a patrol through the city. While we faced difficult challenges there, we've discovered they had a nuclear physicist in their possession. We faced further challenging moments and missed one of the HVTs in Fallujah while we had an undercover agent. We then located the HVT based at a secret submarine cave just off the coast of Japan and completed the job. By the time we discovered the intel about Dr. Pavel, it was already too late, and Dr. Pavel was already extracted out of Fallujah. We later learned about his whereabouts as he was taken to the island of Malden, where he was held captive there. An active militia group by the name the Last Guerrillas kicked off with terror, attacking a NATO convoy, killing 3 NATO soldiers with several injured and 3 missing. During our pursuit for Dr. Pavel, we were commissioned to take out the Last Guerrillas. We've learned about their connection with C-SAT through a criminal kingpin, Hector de Hamel, who financially backed the militia and was the bridge between them. The leader of this dangerous militia group, Christopher Vidal, took over from his brother who was assassinated by our team during the Fallujah campaign, and he vowed vengeance on NATO for his brother's death. This was an excellent distraction for C-SAT to gain a foothold on the airport to regain the island from NATO. S.P.A.R stepped in to eliminate the Last Guerrillas and stole data from a research vehicle that later led us to a prototype submarine with countermeasure capabilities in Tanoa. We managed to infiltrate and upload a virus to destroy their latest weapon. Finally, we needed to have Dr. Pavel in our hands to understand what they had planned to do with him. Our brave soldiers went on to a daring mission to rescue the NATO soldiers, cleared the Last Guerrillas base, destroyed C-SAT's presence on the island, terminated both Hector de Hamel and Christopher Vidal, before embarking on the most formidable task to extract Dr. Pavel safely. Now to what brings us to Takistan. After the situation when NATO's Special Branch Unit, S.P.A.R, captured and retrieved the nuclear physicist, new information has unified several separate parts of intel, forming a more precise picture in our global intelligence network. The information we have received from Dr. Pavel makes for the last pieces of the puzzle and outlines a C-SAT plan of deception to destabilize the Middle East. This is by current intel happening through arming the terrorist groups in the local area who are openly hostile to NATO and the West. What makes this an urgency is that Dr. Pavel has given us information that this also includes a missing nuclear device. The capture of Dr. Pavel has undoubtedly delayed the planned use of this device. However, our intelligence service is quite clear on the fact that it is only a matter of time before C-SAT again has found someone able to work on the device. The leading operator of this plan of deception is a well-known arms dealer going by many names, but the most prominent name being Michael Mahmoud. He is a global operator with close ties to C-SAT. NATO believes he is the holder of a said nuclear device, and as such NATO has decided to act to retrieve the said device. Michael Mahmoud's base of operation in the Middle East is an airfield in Takistan. which is currently overrun and controlled by the Daesh, and they will be what makes up the main force protecting Mr. Mahmoud's airfield. NATO has decided to take this airfield, and S.P.A.R will spearhead this operation. The airfield will be a symbolic victory for NATO in the region, showing that the West is acting against the Daesh. Even though NATO officially will state that this is an act in the battle against Daesh, the truth of the matter is that this airfield, once captured, will be used as the operational HQ of S.P.A.R in their pursuit of Mr. Mahmoud and the missing nuclear device. Your mission is to capture the airfield. Current intel point to the airfield being reinforced the last few weeks. CSAT is not in Tajikistan in any official capacity, but they have unofficially provided Mr. Mahmoud with extra protection in the form of advanced anti-air capabilities. These AA capabilities make it near impossible for NATO to strike directly at the airfield, as it controls the surrounding airspace. S.P.A.R is tasked with a special operations mission where the objective is twofold. Neutralize the AA capabilities protecting the airfield, opening it to a direct assault by NATO's forces and destroying the fuel silo near the airfield containing jet fuel. The intelligence service has surveyed the maps of Tajikistan and believe we can bring in 2 groups of S.P.A.R Spec Ops operatives with small helicopters flying under the radar. The S.P.A.R Spec Ops operatives will then infiltrate, seek out and destroy their targets. NATO will be on standby as the mission starts, with air assets and paratroopers ready to strike within few minutes after the hostiles' AA capacity has been destroyed. A SOCOM recon unit has provided us with operational intelligence to this mission. They are still in the area of operation and will be securing the LZ as the S.P.A.R Spec Ops units approaches, but will not take part in this mission. NATO has air assets and 3 platoons of paratroopers ready to strike. They, however, are unable to help unless the AA capacity of the hostile forces has been neutralized. The current intel we have that Daesh regular troops make up the brunt of the hostile forces present, in addition to some CSAT specialist units making up the AA capabilities. The SOCOM recon team reported an increase of activity on the airfield 2 days ago as suspected VIPs came to the airfield. They have as of right now not left yet. The enemy has conventional as well as lightly armored and heavily armored vehicles at their disposal. Also, there has been spotted combat helicopters currently on the ground on the airfield. This is enemy territory, and as such, it is expected that the enemy can gather a considerable force if allowed the time to do so. Be advised, local civilian population is present. Their allegiance is unknown. Finally, this is a high-risk mission with a high strategic reward. Due to the location of the area of operation, we have no means of conducting any form of rescue operation if things go sideways. It is, therefore, the utmost importance that you conduct this mission as stealthy as possible, avoiding detection wherever you can. Coordination and teamwork will be critical. Make sure that the time window where you deal damage and expose yourself is as small as possible. In general, expect the enemy to react to your actions. Good luck.